Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin tonight with some breaking news from City Hall. Lloydminster City Council has terminated the employment contract of City Manager Glenn Carroll. According to Mayor Gerald Albers, the move is a result of the third-party audit conducted by George Cuff. Deputy City Manager Kirk Morrison will take over in the interim until administration evaluates candidates for a full-time city manager. We'll have more information on the termination as it becomes available. Preparing for the unexpected, that's what Lloydminster City Council is aiming to do with a new municipal reserve policy. Officials move to set aside cash in the hopes of improving the financial health of the city. Adam MacVicker has more on why.
Capital is capital, and you build it when you can afford it.
Relying on the ups and downs of taxes can be difficult for any municipality, especially in this economy.
Once you set your budget, you like to stick to it, and I can appreciate that very much. At the same time, we also have to be prepared to make those little tweaks and without having to go back and ask for more money.
This has spurred the creation of a municipal stabilization reserve, a rainy day fund of sorts funded by surplus money and unbudgeted revenue, a different approach than previous councils.
Maybe we'd pay off a capital project a little sooner. Maybe we would do something that we didn't plan on because we thought we were short of money. So it was dedicated on an annual basis.
The reserve would fund any unexpected operational expenses like fluctuations to interest rates to a decline in revenues, similar situations to what's happening across Saskatchewan.
It's a problem that we weren't anticipating.
Due to cuts in the provincial budget, North Battleford is losing $1.1 million this year, while the city of Saskatoon is facing an $8 million shortfall, $11 million annually. Options are limited.
Raiding our reserves, as has been suggested, or increasing taxes, which all have an impact on the municipality and our citizens.
Back in the border city, Councillor Baker feels the reserve should be used for capital projects.
Unless we really have something run off the rails, operationally we can pretty well budget what's going on, and I don't think that's the biggest issue. It's capital reserves is the big issue.
It's expected to take several years to reach the targeted balance of 7.5% of the city's operational expenses, and transfers to the reserve will require annual council approval. Adam MacVicker, Newcap News.
Graduation is just around the corner and many are starting to search for the perfect outfit. Chantel Germo tells us how a group of local ladies have brought the Cinderella Project to Lloydminster for the first time.
The Cinderella Project helps girls and their families who may have an overwhelming financial burden and cannot afford all the aspects of the whole grad package, from their dress, hair, shoes, to even makeup.
Spending $1,000 or thousands of dollars for one day is just not an option for some people, so having everything combined for free is a perfect option for those.
As well, we're going to be doing draws for full photography sessions with professional photographers, and really it's all about making their day as perfect as we can.
Girls will have the opportunity to choose their outfits thanks to the donations from the community. However, they are looking for more because the group's goal is to help everyone that applies.
We're looking for any people who are willing to donate dresses from past graduations, or even bridesmaids dresses for that matter, as well as we're looking for donations from jewelry and shoes.
So I'm offering makeup. It can be as little or as much as the client wants. It can be glamorous, it can be natural, whatever the person's style is.
Application and donation deadlines are April 15th, and the dress picking process is on April 22nd.
It's just a huge weight off their shoulders. Grad should be happy, and other than your wedding, for a girl, your grad is probably the second biggest day of your life.
The group hopes to launch a tux shop project next year for guys. Chantel Germo, Newcap News.
The Kiwanis Key Club at Holy Rosary High School is holding its second Battle of the Bands this weekend. 6 bands will be competing for first place, but the real winners of the night are actually far away from Lloydminster, as all the proceeds from the event go towards the Our Village Uganda initiative.
We feel it's a really great cause to go towards, and because they're building a school and community over in Uganda, and yeah, we like to partner with that.
It's overwhelming. It's really nice to know that what I'm doing is affecting somewhere farther away, and it's for something good. It's a good feeling.
The event gets underway at 7 o'clock this Saturday with admission by donation at the door.
We have a great mix of music. We have everything from rap to more heavy rock and some pop in there. And yeah, it'll be a good variety.
I hope everything goes well. I hope people like the music, everybody has fun, and don't really care about winning. I love performing, so.
You can find more information about the event on Facebook by searching Battle of the Bands Lloydminster. The RCMP Regimental Ball is dancing its way back into the border city on April 8th after a 10-year hiatus.
It's going to be a really great night out. I'm calling it the event of the year in Lloydminster. It's a gala. We have all the decorations, we have the food, we have the band. It's going to be a fantastic night, and I hope to see a lot of people from Lloydminster come and enjoy this evening with us.
A signed Braden Holtby NHL All-Star jersey will be up for grabs at the silent auction, along with other items.
We live in a great community. We have a very supportive community, and we thought let's throw this out there and see if people come. And you know what? It's been really good, but we want to sell out. We want to sell 450 tickets. So come buy your tickets. Come now, and you won't regret it. I promise.
Only 100 tickets are left. They're $85, with proceeds going to Midwest Victim Services and are available at the detachment until Tuesday at 1 p.m. In the rush to build muscle mass or simply lose weight, people at the gym often fail to focus on their glute muscles when working the lower body. And in our current society, where we spend so much time sitting, the importance is magnified. Josh Ryan has more in this week's Healthy Living.
Spending much of the day dormant has a negative effect on the legs, particularly your gluteus muscles.
If you look at your day, you're probably sitting at least 5 hours, generally speaking. A lot of people are over 8 hours a day sitting, so if you think of your position when you're sitting, your glutes are elongated the whole time.
Not only is that hard on your glutes, but the effect transitions on down the lower body.
It helps stabilize your pelvis. It's going to keep your hips from, swaying back and forth. A lot of people don't realize that weak glutes actually cause, knee pain, pain in your lower back.
To buff up those muscles, the most common exercises are pillars of leg day, squats and deadlifts.
Those are your big movements that are going to include your glutes, but all the other muscles in your body as well.
Some other useful exercises include hip presses, where you push the hips up towards the ceiling, and Bulgarian split squats.
So you're essentially doing the splits, but you're in a squat and you're just going to lower to the ground and push back up, while your pelvis is still going to be aligned, but your legs are on two different planes.
There are a number of exercises like that can be modified to focus on one leg and thus work on inefficiencies within certain muscles.
You'll have one that's always stronger than the other, and sometimes it can overcompensate for the other and work a little bit harder for that one. So it's important to strengthen them together as well as separately so they're in balance.
And a surprise pick for working your glutes is the plank.
Most people just think of keeping their belly button to the ceiling and let the rest of their body go really lax. But really you should be thinking of keeping everything nice and strong.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, we're all anxious for the snow to clear so we can get on with summer. Livestock owners also looking forward to getting their animals back on grass. Gerard Lampow chats with a rancher about a grazing technique that's good for both livestock and the land.
I have solid foot in science and a solid foot in day-to-day ranching operations and how to make money.
Jim Garish has spent 22 years at the University of Missouri working in grazing and research. He has countless more years of ranching experience and was in Lloydminster for this year's AgriVisions, speaking on optimizing grazing for both livestock and pasture performance. He advocates 4 key points to achieve best grazing practices.
We always need to balance the soil and plant needs against the livestock needs, and that, of course, is balanced against our financial needs there.
Jim Garish says the willingness to waste grass separates healthy, profitable cattle grazing pastures from those that fail. He says you can see a 60% increase in yield from rotating cattle daily onto another pasture.
Dr. Zavala talked about the importance of having a diversity of roots and microbes in the soil. The way you create a diversity of roots and microbes in the soil is through a diversity of plants above ground. That also gives us good animal nutrition. Animals like eating diversity.
So his 4 points are: leave some grass behind, don't overgraze a pasture, allow pasture recovery time, have multiple plants for eating and biodiversity. This will support better soil health, and better soil health means better plants, healthy productive livestock, and reduced outside inputs. Garish says if you're running a cattle ranch as a business, you need to readjust your focus.
Cattle ranching can be very profitable if the business is correctly structured.
Gerard Lampow, Newcap News.
In January, over 360 football players from across Alberta participated in Football Alberta's inaugural Super Weekend Tryout Camp. On the line, a chance to be selected to represent the province at the upcoming Football Canada Cup in July and Pacific Under-17 Challenge in August. The group of 360 was chopped down to the top 100 who will enter the final U18 and U17 selection camp in April. 2 Lloydminster Red Dog players made the list and talked about what the experience is like and how it will benefit each of them.
It helps me keeping in shape for the comp so I can go win us a provincial championship and hopefully bring us a home Wheatland football championship.
It's a lot more fast-paced and everyone's going 110%. Where in Red Dogs it's you got some players here, some players there that are good, and some players that are still learning and developing, but everyone there is just full bore and just best of the best.
According to many, Hippie has a good chance to make the U18 Alberta team, a sentiment he believes as well.
I thought I did pretty good. I felt like I could definitely make the team and hopefully have a starting spot.
Zacharias, a grade 10 student at Lloyd Comp, which means there's someone quite familiar with his abilities and chances to represent the local high school on the U17 team.
He's a good football player. If he doesn't make that team, then that means that there are some really, really solid football players in Alberta. He's still young for the age group, but you don't see very many guys with that athleticism, that tenacity. He hates to lose, all the kind of things, not just the physical skills, but the personal skills, the personality skills that you want from a running back too. So it'll be tough for them to cut him. Sorry.
The Canada Cup takes place in Nova Scotia July 6th to 15th, 2017, while the Pacific U17 Challenge is in Hawaii August 5th to 13th.